All right, moving on Fineprint this evening, French movie diva Catherine Deneuve has slammed the Me Too movement launched by her counterparts in Hollywood. Remember that the Golden Globes Awards this year featured Hollywood's top female stars like Meryl Streep and Daryl Hannah dressed in all black. Now, they declared that Hollywood was never going to see sexual exploitation of women by powerful male producers and directors anymore. But Europe is not the United States. Here, hashtag campaigns do not spread like viruses. Europeans have a different approach to life and sex. Along with 100 prominent French women have signed an open letter which was published in French daily Le Monde, which has outraged feminists around the world. More so because it is signed by a diva who has been Marianne, the official face of France's national symbol of liberty, in bus posters and public campaigns. Ms. Deneuve, the 74-year-old diva, would have certainly seen her share of sexual advances during her multiple award-winning career. Yet, here are some of the provocative statements the letter responding to the Hollywood campaign contained. Ms. Deneuve acknowledged that rape must be awarded the toughest punishment, but flirting, even if it's clumsy, is nothing but normal male behavior. The letter also noted opening doors, pulling chairs, or other such small acts done by men for women are not patronizing, they are merely acceptable gestures of chivalry. Ms. Deneuve writes that just like witch hunting in medieval times, the Me Too campaign claims to be for the greater good, for the protection and liberation of women. But what it actually is doing is to enslave them to a status of eternal victim and reduce them to defenseless praise of male chauvinist demons. The letter, signed by Ms. Deneuve, points out that the Me Too campaign has placed flirtatious men in the same category as sex offenders. Now, they were not given a chance to respond or defend themselves. Ms. Deneuve writes that this kind of arbitrary justice to send the pigs to be slaughtered will actually have the reverse effect. She said it will only confirm the views held by extremists that women are some other species and demand to be protected. All right, we'll try to get you more news and updates on this story, but just to bring our viewers up to speed with the latest coming in about the sexual abuse of women in Hollywood, French movie diva Catherine Deneuve has slammed the hashtag Me Too movement launched by her counterparts in Hollywood. All right, joining me now for more of this story is actor Tanishta Chatterjee, who is joining me live from Mumbai. Tanishta, good evening to you, and thank you for joining me on this discussion this evening. First up, what do you make of Catherine Deneuve's rather surprising, some would say shocking remarks there? Your thoughts on this, please.
I think it's really disappointing. I'm a huge fan of Catherine Deneuve's work, and it's also quite surprising that one of the iconic films that she's really known for is Louis Buñuel's Belle de Jour, which is actually about sexual fantasies and freedom that a woman experiences. And if I'm not mistaken, it was made like way back in the 60s or the early 70s. And so to have such a career and such a fantastic, performance in that film, and, the films, henceforth, and also like Catherine Deneuve as a woman, as an actor, has always been very vocal as far as sexuality, sexual freedom goes, as far as women are concerned. So it's really disappointing that such a misinterpreted statement sort of comes from her. There's a very clear distinction between flirting, between, sexes, and harassment. There's a very clear distinction between consensual flirting, which of course we all understand that it has happened from the time that this planet has been there, and we all enjoy that as men and women, according to the preferences of the sexes that we have. But I think there's a very, very clear distinction between that and harassment. And I do not think that it can be misinterpreted or it can be, thought about either or. So it's very disappointing that such a letter and such a statement comes from someone who we all as young actors have adored, not only because of the body of work as an actress that she's had, but even otherwise as a woman.
Tanishta, your point is well taken, but let's understand one thing here. Catherine is not alone. There are 100 other women who have joined with her in writing or signing that open letter. And talking about Catherine herself, she writes that this kind of arbitrary justice to send the pigs to be slaughtered will actually have the reverse effect. She says it will only confirm the views held by extremists that women are some other species and demand to be protected. Would you agree with her, at least to that extent?
No, I don't think so. I think women are a different sex. It's not other species. I think, I feel that, I don't only feel, I think very clearly that there is a very clear distinction, I'm going to repeat myself, when it comes to consensual flirting and when it comes to harassment, especially in workspace. And I don't think that there is any blurred line there. I think all of us as women, as young actors, as people, it not only happens in the film industry, it happens across the board in every industry. We always face this. And a lot of times also there are some women who take advantage of it as well. So in those cases, I would say that is corruption, right? Like if you have to be a doctor, you should be like writing a good medical examination and become a good doctor. Sexual favors should not make you a better doctor. But so this kind of a parameter in any workforce, I think, is a very misplaced standardization, and I feel that there is no blurred line here, and there has to be distinction. I don't think there's a Puritan approach there, because what one is talking about is not out of workspace consensual flirting. What one is clearly talking about is workspace sexual harassment.
Tanishta, fair point you're making there, and to just take off on the point you mentioned towards the end of your intervention there, you said it happens in every industry. Now, we've heard about the infamous Harvey Weinstein case in Hollywood, which had a domino effect, a cascading effect, with more women coming out and accusing him and other actors of sexual abuse and molestation and so on. We've heard such reports from Europe as well, from the British film industry. Why is Hindi cinema, or the so-called Bollywood fraternity, so keeping quiet on this issue? Are you telling me that this is alien to Bollywood culture and Bollywood industry?
No, I think in Bollywood, we still have a long way to feel empowered enough, safe enough to actually name and shame.
No, but Tanishta, what stops, what prevents actors like you, educated women who speak their mind, know their mind, what prevents actors like you to come out in the open and call a spade and call people out for their behavior?
I said that, we do not feel empowered and safe enough. And so most of us, we make a choice right in the beginning. Because, within the industry, we all know that, there are certain kinds of production houses or certain kinds of producers or directors who have, indirect pressures on their actresses, and we decide not to work with them. And by that, we make a choice that, we would let go of the work instead of getting onto the couch. So some of us just clearly make that distinction and make that choice.
Okay, let me rephrase my question, Tanishta. Is it rampant in Bollywood or not?
Yes.
Do you acknowledge, let's acknowledge to begin with, does it happen in Bollywood or not?
I think it's much, I think, to be honest, it's much better now than how it was 10 years back. When I first started, to how it is now, I think it's much better. I think there are more professional people working. There are more women in positions of power. And I think the younger lot, the directors, producers, they are far more professional than how it used to be.
All right. All right. Fair point. On that note, Tanishta, thank you so much for making time